Woo! Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's showtime. Well, let's get into this, shall we? Patreons, what is up? This is the killing of Kim Porter. Yep, that's what it is. Now, Kim Porter is from Columbus, Georgia. Columbus. And since Kim is from Columbus, Georgia, y'all know Columbus is like right next to Eufaula, Alabama. And because it's close to Eufaula, Alabama, that's my family's like hometown. That's where they from. So everyone wants to travel abroad, right? And it's about like driving to the suburb of your major city. About a 30-minute drive. Now, Kim Porter was a nice, tall, long, proper, you know, she was very, just energetic, always spoke to folks. And people said, man, how do you know that? Because Columbus is 30 minutes away from Eufaula. And I just happened to be down there visiting during the summer. And I was playing Ultimate Basketball on Nintendo or Super Nintendo. Either one of them. I can't remember which system. But I think it was Super Nintendo. Could be wrong, but it don't matter. But I know I was playing Ultimate Basketball. And I was dominating playing that game. And my other cousin, Curtis Hawkins, a.k.a. Ball. Ball was out there. Him and his homeboy. They were out there going because it was some type of town thing where they had this, like, where it's like a big party. So everybody would just drive to it. So you got people coming from Atlanta, Columbus, Eufaula, Dothan. Everybody's out there. So they was going getting girls and bringing them back to the crib. Their mom was gone. Like, she was out for the whole night. She wasn't going to be back till like morning or something. So they had the whole crib. So we were staying over there because we get to do what we want over there. So I'm hanging out there with my cousin. They're older than me, so they coming back with all these girls, running them in the back room. And the song "Knocking Boots" was out by a guy named Candyman. So that was the song. Everybody was playing it. It was all through. He was just his friends was coming in there every time. Every time he score with a chick, come back out onto "Knocking Boots" Part 3. So he would just go back to the party, grab another one, and bring them back to the room and take them in the back and was just smashing. And I was just like, this is crazy how this is going. I just never thought it would get to that level. So while all these things was transpiring, people were just like mesmerized. Like, how is this even working right now? Like, this doesn't make sense. And they homeboy, they didn't care. It's party time. So for everyone else, such as myself, I'm sitting there, and then it's this one girl. She comes in with my cousin Kurt, and she sit down on the couch, and she's just watching us play the video game. And she was, "You're very good. This is a good game. Wow, this looks really good for a video game. This looks really nice. What is this?" So it's Ultimate Basketball. He's like, "Oh, I might have to get one of these for my cousin or nephew or something," she was saying. But she was so proper, the way she sat, and The way she looked, she like one of them sorority girls. And that was Kim Porter. And I didn't even know that until somebody told me, like, yo, Kim Porter, her family is in Columbus, Georgia. Like we know the family. Kurt used to date her. And, Kurt took her out that time and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's her? That's the same girl that was sitting on the couch. And I was like, that's what she reminds me of. Because I remember her smile and the way she sat all proper and everything. And she actually had a conversation with us before she went and got her back blown out. So, yeah, that's how we knew Kim Porter. But this is all about the killing of Kim Porter, tragically. So, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Now, what people don't understand is that Kim Porter had, right shortly after that, she was very young. She got pregnant by singer Albie Shore. So, Albie Shore, he was still kind of hot. Career was kind of dwindling off, but he still had that fame. Ran into Kim, they had a relationship, and they had their son Quincy. Right? Now that Quincy is born, things start to make a turn for the other side of the fence. Now, she's got Quincy. They're having fights. Like her and Al. Al don't have any money to really take care of her. Diddy is dealing with Misa and all these different people. And while they were at a party, that's how, they basically ran into, you know, Kim because her bestie was Kimora. She was a Victoria's Secret girl in the modeling world with Tyra Banks, some other models, but it was Kimora, Tyra Banks, Kim Porter. So she was known for the magazines and everything else. So when she was coming up, Kimora started dating Russ. And that was her bestie. It wasn't Tyra. Tyra was like felt like she was her talked to her like she was her boss. But Kimora was like that was her homegirl. So when she got with Russ, she always looked out for Kim, and then she hooked up with Diddy because Diddy was cheating on Misa with another girl he was dating, and got her pregnant. But he was having his menage a trois with three women at the time. So all of that was going on with Diddy. And he ended up having a baby by all three of these women. So when this is going on, Kim Porter is definitely someone who knows how models work. These models keep their mouths shut. They don't bother anybody. They stay true to themselves. They don't cause waves. If there's a problem or anything outside of the numbers, they would let you know. If it was anything out of the ordinary, you would be the first to know about it. Now, what happened this time around was that the situations turned. Diddy is a control freak. And when the thing with Misa, rather, his first baby moms, and the thing that went on with Suge and his son Justin and all of those things that happened there, he was definitely not going to let that happen again. And models, I told you, they keep their mouths shut. They see a lot. They don't react like normal girls would do. And that's what I say. The runway is not, they're not advertising clothing. They're selling themselves to rich men. That's what this whole thing is about. It's a farce. Their job is to sell themselves. So when I saw them, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that that was what they were there to do. That's what they were there for, was to sell themselves. I went ahead and I said, man, this is incredible. As I saw the uh, the walkway to run as, see all the women going back and forth. I'm like, man, that's incredible. No one really comments on the fact that this is basically legal prostitution. But okay, I guess if you got money, no one cares. So the situation and scenario made another turn for the worse. Because once Diddy got with her, they were the magazines, they were the new hot looking couple. Then she got pregnant. That's right. And she had the son Christian. After being with Diddy for about 3 years, here she comes with a baby. So Christian is born, I believe, in like 97 or 98. Don't hold me on that. But Christian is born. And right away, Diddy is smitten, but then he's kind of withdrawn. As he was like, oh, this is good. We're going to be a family. He's on the cover of Essence, and this is what he won out of the whole thing. But Diddy has a bunch of idiocracies that she and other people know about, but not the masses. A lot of them don't know about how Diddy ways are. They don't know how he moves. They don't know how he gravitates through the earth. Right? They don't. So what happens is the world spins and turns upside down. Diddy changes the whole game and decides to date his other side chick. And she's sick of it. She finds out what's going on with this side chick. But she's got Christian now. So she can't. She's like, look, this ain't enough money. And guess how much the money was, fellas? $6,700 a month is what Diddy had to pay. But Diddy, since 97, he took off. Big died, and then the money started pouring in. Mace and everything, Bad Boy. Puffy, when he was like plus 300. So because he was plus 300, his net worth shot up. So she knew how to foul. 50 Cent baby mama should have went and got her. But she knew what she was doing. She went and filed paperwork so that she could have. She filed paperwork so that she could have Diddy pay her like almost $50,000 a month in child support. So she got it. They went to court, and Diddy had to pay. And they came up with that figure. So Justin's taken care of, so she doesn't care what Diddy's doing now. Now Diddy would still come over there and sleep with her every now and then, but they pretty much was off and on. She just didn't care as long as she was financially taken care of and kept. Now, during her times, Diddy trusted Kim more than anybody had ever really seen, sworn to secrecy. He felt she's more involved in what's going on here than what many people know. Many people might not know, but allegedly, they were involved in a lot of trysts, meaning a lot of three-way action. And Diddy doesn't carry himself, she knows his sexual, pleasures and what he likes. And I don't know if it's called homosexuality, but, I don't know about him sleeping with another man, having another man insert things in him, but I know he likes another man in the bed with them while they're pleasuring a woman and objects allegedly being shoved, in his backside. So, if we could say that, are we allowed? Or we just call it the Oscar de la Hoya? Anyway, she knows a bunch of secrets about Diddy, right? And because she knows a lot of secrets, she's participated in a lot of things. She's seen a couple of things. She knows a lot, which made a lot of people feel nervous. Andre Harrell really didn't like the fact that Kim knew a lot. You heard Jaguar Wright speak on it a couple of times. He was another person who seen too much. There was a lot of things going on that people had saw things that they wished they hadn't. And it wasn't due to their fault, but they're complicit now. And because they're complicit, because they saw too much, now it's like, okay, you saw a lot, buddy. So because you saw a lot, I like you, but I might have to get rid of you at some point. But it's sad, but sometimes you could see something you wish you can unsee. Especially if you're not going to be a part of that world. You're a threat to them in certain instances. Now, everything is fine until Diddy gets suggested, and we're going to let a lot of stuff out the bag here, that the whole Diddy and JLo relationship was a big farce. It was fake. Faking in a $3 bill. Listen, let me tell you what they did. This was put together to help promote Jennifer Lopez. Tommy Mottola was mad at Mariah Carey, and Mariah Carey had went over to start working with P. Diddy and all these different things, and was pissed off, and he wanted to make her a star. And he told Combs, like, I would ruin him. You better talk to your guy. So Clive Davis is like, look, we'll make this thing right. You don't like that we worked with her and all this. That's what we'll work with your girl too. JLo. JLo was trying to get with Tony Montola too, to see if he would promote her, because he was trying to make Mariah Carey jealous. So anyway, Jennifer Lopez gets up there. Beanie Medina was really against this move, but she was trying to make her mark in the music. So Diddy tells Kim, I gotta do this. I don't believe none of the headlines and all that. This is what I gotta do. For my career and everything else. This is business. I don't want you to think nothing. I don't care what you read. You hearing it from me. It's business. That's what he's telling them about Jennifer Lopez. So They played like they were the couple and how they hooked up on the balcony to kiss. They went on the balcony to kiss it to announce that they were going to be a couple. She was hired to dance in a video when they did Been Around the World. And it's a whole dance scene with her and Diddy. And next thing you know, everybody liked the video. And this was like, okay, we should explore this into a relationship. So it went into a whole fake romance until it got real with the whole shooting incident that took place in New York when Jennifer Lopez was caught in that mess. And Benny Medina and her team got her out of it and said, well, that's it, we're pulling the plug on this Diddy and JLo thing. It was great. Now it's blowing up into something that's going to be toxic to her career. And Diddy couldn't get her to come back to save him while he was going through trial in court. She broke it out on him. But while they were together, Kim Porter told Diddy, okay, you can have your fun with JLo, do what you got to do, and everything else. Just so you know, Christian will not be involved. I don't want my son in these pictures with her. I don't want her nothing to do with Jennifer Lopez. She's like, that woman does not look to me and the way she carry herself like she gives a damn or care about black children. So I'm very careful about my children and who I want them around. And I don't want my children around her. And Diddy honored that. And he stayed out of Christian's life for 2 years while he dated Jennifer Lopez the whole time. He was not around Christian. These are things you guys didn't know. This is what your boy Carcino provides. The information for the translation. Now, let's get even more into this. Now it gets even more interesting. It gets even more interesting. And the reason why it gets more interesting is because there was a major problem that insisted between um, there was a major problem. I think it existed between two different I think it was two different companies, to be exact. I believe it was just two different companies. And when that happened, it was like an explosion went off. These two companies that was having this tech war, and the technology was changing. And at that time, everybody was using two-way pagers. You know, cell phones weren't, it wasn't no text messaging and all of that. None of these things were going on like that at the time. So when the J-Lo thing was going down and he realized, man, I'm not going to get J-Lo back, he went back to Kim. And he wanted Kim to be his girl again. And she was like, look, I don't want to keep going back and forth like this, you know, and doing what you're doing. He was, no, 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 it's cool. No, 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 no. So Kim decided, okay, I'll take you back. Now, why he said cool and did what he did and took Kim back and he won her back or whatever it is that he did, basically came out with a figure, a number, and he matched it. At the time, Kim had moved on. She was dating another guy at the time, a guy whose the name is Shakir Stewart. Shakir Stewart was an executive working at LaFace. He was working under L.A. Reid. He brought in Sierra. He helped sign a lot of these artists. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of people give Jay-Z all the credit for what happened with Rockefeller and bringing in not Beanie Siegel, but Rick Ross and Jeezy and Rihanna. He didn't sign those people. Shakir Stewart brought those people in. Look, L.A. Reid went to run Def Jam. Jay-Z was the face. He brought the guy who was bringing him the talent, which was Shakir Stewart. Shakir can find the talent and bring him the artists. So he knew Shakir was doing the work. Babyface had gotten lazy. And his thing was about writing. But he was gotten complacent and was worried about his wife, and the company was going down. So Shakir is the hottest thing going right now. So Shakir and her were dating until Diddy came back into the picture after JLo. So once they got back together, her and Diddy had twins, the two girls, right? Then Diddy had a kid with his mistress on the side named Chance. Y'all remember that? So now Diddy is back with Kim, somewhat, and they're overseas going to a party. It's someone's having a wedding in like India, Dubai, or something like that. They go over there to this record executive's wedding, and while there, Kim has a phone message on there that Diddy hears where it's like, hey, just checking on you, see how my babies are doing, you and my babies are doing over there. Diddy is livid that Shakir Stewart is calling Kim still. Like, how dare him call you and I'm here? So he was livid. He goes over to his room because they're all there for this wedding. He goes up to the Shakir's room, bangs on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Shakir answered the door. He was like, hey, mother effer, what do you get off calling my girl talking about you the father of my kids? And he was like, what? He said, no, I said my babies. Like, they like family to me. Like he had another girl and everything. And did he mush him and push him in his face to the ground and everything? He told him, stay away from Kim. My family don't ever in your life contact them. Now, Shakir is upset. He's ready to hit Diddy, but Diddy got bodyguards. So he can't make a move. So they go back to the situation. Kim and Diddy get into a big argument. Next thing you know, Kim got a black eye. She's claimed she fell. I can only tell you what she said. She claimed she fell. But on the plane, people saw she had a black eye. Now you put it together. So here's where things start to get a little unraveling or a little weird in people's taste. After this situation goes by, Diddy hooks up with another girl. This young, beautiful girl named Cassie. And they date for like 14 years. But Kim don't care because she got what she want. She got her money coming in. She got her kids. She gets to go out and party, and she could do what she want to do. So Kim is hanging out with Kimora, who's her best friend. She's doing what she want to do. Now we're gonna fast forward to some things coming unreal. Why at a party where there's Russell Simmons, Kimora Lee Simmons, Shakir Stewart was um, was at this party, and at this time, Stewart is getting ready to. Sorry about this. He was getting ready to prepare for a situation that a lot of people didn't understand what was going on in his life. He had some ties going on with some artists because he brought in Jeezy and he had brought in Rick Ross and signed them over with Def Jam, and Jay Z was taking all the credit for it. Now the BMF and Jeezy were real tight at the time, so there was a situation that went down, and a lot of people feel the BMF had something to do with Shakir Stevenson's suicide just a few months after the Diddy incident, that he took his own life the very next year, about maybe 5, 6 months later. He decided to go in the bathroom and take his own life. Here's what really happened there. It's all intertwined in one story. Shakir Stewart took his own life because he was being extorted and blackmailed. See, Shakir Stewart wasn't all the way honest. Word around the campfire is that Diddy had all the information about not Stevenson, but Stewart's life, that he was hiding about his activity with other men and women. And it was threatened to be revealed if he wasn't cooperating. And he was going to be forced to be compromised. Now, the rumor was there's a tape of him and L.A. Reid from Def Jam. They were more than business partners. They had something else going on. And this would destroy Stewart's whole relationship that he got with his girl and everything else. Kim knew his secret because she was dating someone who also had secrets. And Diddy knew his secrets just as much. Now, word around the campfires, Diddy was sending those threats to Stewart. But I heard the threats were coming from multiple people who wanted Stewart to do certain things and had to keep money coming in to keep the tape from being revealed. And when Stewart was like, didn't have the money and it was just getting out of control with the blackmail, he decided to take his own life when he knew that this tape might just come out and all these things about him would come out. He decided to take his own life because he didn't want to deal with it or face it with his own family. Kim was distraught over this and thought Diddy played a part in making that man do what he did, or Diddy had something to do with it. Kim was talking with Kimora Lee, everyone else, and she really don't trust Diddy as much, as him being this innocent guy to the situation. Diddy's with Cassie. He's not really concerned. That was a one-time incident and no connection to it whatsoever. That's Diddy's story. Hey, that's what it is. Now, as he's been dating Cassie, they have a big fallout because Diddy is once again cheating on Cassie, but he doesn't want Cassie to leave him. And she's way younger than Diddy. And she doesn't have a model's mindset. She was an artist. She gave up her career to be Diddy's girl. So now she's trying to get her career going because she wants to leave. Diddy doesn't want her career to go anywhere. He doesn't want her album to perform because then she's going to want to go out on tour without him. And one of these young rappers are gonna find him and take him away. You saw what he did to Drake. His anger. He can't help losing the young girl. He doesn't like to lose things. He likes control. So he goes into a situation to where he keeps trying to get Kim to move to California. She says no. Each and every time she keeps saying no. I don't want to move there. I don't want to move there. And he's like, look, we can move here. We're going to do this thing with the family. I want my kids close by. And they love it out here in Cali. They want to come to Cali so we can start working together and doing things. It's too long of a commute for me to have to go to Georgia. So he's like, it's a good business opportunity for you. So she's listening to this, right? And she's like, all right, we'll give it a shot. So Diddy gets her to move the whole family out to California. And it was great. That first time she got there, Diddy bought her a big house, a $8 million house, got her out there in Cali, got her a car, everything, brand new car, everything she wanted. Diddy wanted to have her close. Like, you need to be close by right now. Because Kim had a lot on a lot of different people. It wasn't just Diddy. It was a bunch of people that Diddy hung with, that she was in clubs overseas, that she's seen things. She's seen people who didn't feel comfortable with her being there. Men who don't like women. Okay? They did not like women. And when women were around, they were very like, who is that person? And Diddy saying she's okay. But they say, we don't think she's okay. Tell her to wait in the room. So she was a good person for staying out of the way and doing whatever Diddy asked her or requested her to do. Low self-esteem girl, pretty much, but she was very protective of her children. Her children is all she lived for. That is the truth. Now, I'll Be Sure was cool to be, with the family. Diddy was accepting. They had their little spat. And then they came to an understanding that they're one big family. And they're able to sell this. And Diddy could market this. And he was like, this is going to open up a doors for everything. Reality, television, all this stuff's on the table now. He got his kids out there. They love in California. And he's like, make sure you tell mom how much you love California. And then they spend the weekend over at dad's. Then they'll go back to see mom. And he was like, nah, this is an easier commute. And then you get to see Kimora. Her house is right around Kimora's crib. She get to come over to visit. No problems. Then all of a sudden, you know, Cassie and Diddy, they had gotten back together. She tried to jump out the car a couple of times and they had split up. Diddy had basically promised her he was going to make her officially his wife. She wanted to be married. She wanted a family. She wanted her own kids. And she's seeing Diddy doing all this reunion stuff with Kim. She wanted out. She completely wanted out. And it didn't happen. So when it didn't happen, moves were made, deals and promises were made, and it just did not go the way other people thought. And it just was not meant to be. It was very difficult, to say the least. I mean, very difficult, to say the least. You had different people involved who didn't seem to have the same, I want to say, desires. Okay, they didn't have the same desires together to work in unison. They had Cassie wanted her own family. She's young. She's thinking about her life. As she's getting older, she's ready to have children. And Diddy is like, I've done that. He don't want to do that no more. So him and Cassie are fighting back and forth, back and forth. And Kim, she's like, I want to move. It's been like a year. Kim is like, I'm really not liking it living out here in California. I want to move back to Georgia. And Diddy don't want the kids to leave. But she keeps pushing the narrative of her going back to Georgia. And then he's got this thing going on with Cassie, and he's like, it's not a good time right now. Just relax. I got a lot going on right now. What's going on in the house? She's like, look, I don't want my kids around that. And he's like, they're not around it. This has nothing to do with them. But I'm going through something. So let me handle business over here. Then we can discuss you wanting to move and leave and go to Georgia. Why would you want to go to Georgia? There's nothing there. She's like, Georgia's popping right now. I could be doing this. She's a Georgia girl. This is her home. She wants to move back to Georgia. She keep talking to Kimora like, it's nothing here. This is not her vibe. She visits California from time to time, but she doesn't want to live there. She wants to go back to Georgia. She likes it out there in Georgia. He is livid that she's actually looking at places in Georgia that she wants to go live. He's pissed that she's taking it this serious when he's got all this stuff going on with Cassie. So Cassie says in October, like, that's it. Like, we're not going to get back together. So it was a function going on where everybody was there. Russ was there. Diddy's there. Diddy's at this function. Kim's at this function. Kimora was at this function. And her and she was talking with Al B. Sure. And she was like, man, like, Puffy, he's different. Like, like, he's going to probably, like, she tells I'll be sure, like, he's going to get me. He got me. Like, he's trying to get me. He's going to make me pay. It seems like he wants to make me pay. So I'll be sure was one of the main people who knew something, this just didn't make sense. So right around October, after the function, like a couple days later, they go to this function or whatever. Diddy was acting really weird, really short with her, and was like, but she expected him to be a little weird because he was going through a lot with Cassie. It's all in the media, TMZ, and about the breakup, the fight, and all of this and what's going on. So he's just fidgeting. Like, they were having problems. They were on the rocks, and people want to get a response for him. And he's just like, okay. And every time he talked to her, he was like really short. Normally he'd be over her, like watching her, saying like, this is what you do, this. He was letting her be with Kimora, letting her go anywhere she wanted to go. And after this event, she went to sleep, woke up the next day, she didn't feel too good. She's like, oh man, I didn't caught a little cold because the nighttime it got really chilly. And I think this was September, like late September or something, and she had a slight cold. It was just bothering her, wasn't going away. So her doctor has prescribed her some medicine to take so that she could fight it. And she told Diddy, like, yeah, I kind of got a cold, I'm not really feeling up to coming out. And I went to go see my doctor because I'm not feeling good. He was like, no, go see my doctor. I got a doctor you need to go see. Forget that doctor you're going to. You need to go see my doctor. So she's like, okay, well, Diddy's really adamant about having me see his doctor. I'm going to go see his doctor. She goes to see Diddy's doctor. Diddy's doctor comes back and tells her she doesn't need that medicine that other doctor gave her. And gave her whatever treatments he could and told her what to do. And she felt really great. Then she fell right back down really quick to where she called Kimora and was like, I've never felt like this before in my life. And she told I'll be sure, according to him, he got me. Or she said that to another family member who was in Georgia, who said that she contacted us and said, he got me. And she just told Kimora she never felt like this ever in her life. She's like, I've never felt like this in my life. Something is wrong. So she sent the kids to Diddy, not like she knew she was going to die. She sent them to him because it was their time to go over to see their dad. So that's why it was a normal time to go over there. But she was like, take care of my babies. She told Diddy that. Take care of my babies. Because she was sick. And she didn't know what was going on. She took a nap and she didn't wake up. Now all hell breaks loose. It's on the news. Kimora thinks it's a hoax. She drive over there to find out that it's true. And they're taking her body out. Kimora's in tears. Diddy takes all his kids' phones. I mean, everything. Laptops, everything. He don't want them to find out by TMZ or nothing. They were going to break it down and tell the children later. So they didn't know anything. They didn't understand what they did and why their phones had to get taken. Nothing. So he goes over there, and first thing he wants to do is he's ordering a bodyguard. Yeah, get the phones. Get her phone. He took Kim's phone. He took everything. After taking everything that was on the table, which made no sense to me, after they decided to do this, I'm just shocked that your baby, the mother of your children, just passed away, who you've been dealing with for about 20 years, off and on, everything. And the first thing, her life is gone, and the first thing come to your mind is get her phone. That was bizarre. I'll be sure put out a statement saying that nope, she was murdered. He believed it. If you don't believe me, go look up Al B. Sure's statement and look at it verbatim. As he is very adamant somebody took her life because she knows something, and everybody believes she has a video. I don't know about a video, about she might have a video and all that. I just know she knew a lot. She saw. She was there. She knew where the toys were hidden. She knew about this man's life. And I'm not saying that they did something to her. I'm just saying something just didn't seem right. Because a month prior to her death, less than a month later, Cassie leaves Diddy for good. She said, that's it. We're done. She's out. She wanted a family. She couldn't get a family. Kim was in the way. She didn't want to be the third wheel. She can't play second to Kim. Kim got her own place. She gets to take care of the kids, do what she want to do. Cassie's like, I'm a prisoner, and I want to have children and have a family with you, and you don't want to have that with me because you got it with Kim. I'm leaving you. He threatened to take out, like, you'll never have a career. I'll destroy everything you put out. She's like, I don't care. I'm leaving. And then he came, I'm sorry. Tell me what you want. You got it. I don't want nothing. I'm leaving. I told you what I wanted. So less than a month later, Kim is dead. Now, these are facts. She left. Kim died less than a month later. Let that sink in. Her complaints from leaving Diddy is that she wanted a family and wanted her own kids just like that. And when she died, Kim died, he was still trying to get Cassidy to come back to play mother to his kids. And now she has a family. He's got custody of the kids now. Listen, when I tell you this stuff, 1+1 is 2, you better start listening to it and believing it. Because, hey, you seeing it unfold right here. I just found that to be mighty strange. All these events happened in the form in which they did, in the format. Now, you might not think so, but I believe it is. So, I just thought it was very strange how all these things translated into one another. So, go ahead, like this video, and let me know what you think in the comments section. It's a lot of stuff revealed here, and that's all I can say for now. That's all it is. So, till next time, your boy Carcino, I'm out.